everybody. Welcome to this episode of Baking with Babies. I'm Shannon Lambert-Ryan, and this is Liam. And we are here with Baking with Babies. We are so excited to be here with you this weekend for the what festival? For the Michigan Irish Music Festival. We were supposed to be there this weekend, and we are so sad that we're not there with all of you guys. This was going to be Liam's first Michigan Irish Music Festival this year, so we are so missing all of you guys out there, but we are thrilled to join here with you today. I'm in the band Runa, and we're performing over the weekend as part of the virtual online festival. What's that? This is Dada deBarra, and this is Liam deBarra. Dada deBarra, Fionán deBarra, is on the camera right now. He's manning the camera, and Dada, or Fionán, is also in the band Runa. So this is a team effort right now, bringing Baking with Babies to you. This is something that we started during the pandemic to share some of our recipes with you from our kitchen. And so today, we're wearing our festival shirts. This is my Michigan Irish Music Festival shirt from 2012, one of the years that Runa played. And this is an extra special gift. Lachelle Meixel gave this shirt to me. I was admiring her shirt, and they weren't selling any more of these, and so she actually gave the shirt to me directly. So giving a huge shout out to Lachelle. We're missing you. And to Tom and to Chris and everybody else out there. They have like the best volunteers that you'd ever see at any of the festivals. So we're giving huge shout outs to them. And Patty. And what does your shirt say? We're wearing our festival shirts. This is the Milwaukee's shirt this year. And we were just doing an episode for them the other day. What does your shirt say? The hele baile. Can you say it for them? The
baby.
Baking with Babies?
Just the baby.
Just the babies. Okay, so the hele baile means together at home, and so we're sporting all of our festival shirts this week. And what are we going to make in our episode today? Remember? Tell them. What are we making? Hob Nobs. And Hob Nobs are like a huge Irish delicacy. If you've ever been to any kind of Irish music, traditional music rehearsal, you will find Hob Nobs, almost guaranteed. And well, we have to make more. There are no more, so we need to make more. Who really likes Hob Nobs? Liam and Dada and Uncle Cormac. Uncle Cormac and Uncle Eamon really like Hob Nobs. And this is a recipe that we found and that my mom has kind of tweaked over the past couple of years. And it's gotten the stamp of approval from Uncle Cormac. He said they are as good as McVitie's or better. So if he's saying they're okay, means they're okay. So we're going to give you this recipe and share this with you today. So let's get started, okay? So we're going to start you off. As you can see, we've got butter, golden syrup, which is something that's not as common over here in the States, but you can find them either online or at some of the kind of bigger shops, Whole Foods and things like that. Golden syrup. It's kind of like a honey or like a cane syrup. It's really sweet. So you use it sparingly, but this is something that you can find. If not in your local shop, you can find it online. We've got whole wheat flour and regular all-purpose flour, baking powder, and we're going to use baking soda as well. We've got oats, and then we've also got sugar and some salt. So we're going to get started first with our butter. No, we're not going to eat the sugar. Tell them we wait until it's
not baked.
Baked, yes. All right, so we're going to start you off with butter, and you've got 18 tablespoons of butter. And we tend to prefer Kerrygold. That's just the best that you're going to get for Irish butter. So we tend to use Kerrygold for this recipe. And I know that sounds like an awful lot of butter, but trust me, it's worth it. All right, so you're going to put that into a medium saucepan, or 250 grams if you're weighing it. You're cutting it down. Okay. With the big spoon, and then we're going to take. There we are. We're going to take a tablespoon of golden syrup. Can you help me measure this out? Alright, can you hold the tablespoon? Alright. Tablespoon of golden syrup. Pour that in. And then you're going to also take a tablespoon of hot water. And this is if you're baking with babies, which we highly encourage. If you're baking with babies, this part is the part to not include the little guys. Have an adult do this part. Okay. I'm just going to pour this on. Hands back for a second. Tablespoon of hot water. And we're going to put that on the stove as kind of our first thing to do. You're cutting it. We're going to mix it up a little bit. And the key to this next part, you're going to put it over. Whoops. We're going to put it over. Keep it in the pan. Keep it in the bowl. We're going to put it on low to medium heat because we want to melt the butter and the water and the golden syrup all together. So that's your first step.
Is that a door? Is that a step?
That's the step. Yes. All right. So we're going to put this over here as our first step. Thank you, sir. You're closing it. Thank you very much. All right. So we're going to put it over here on the stove, as I said, low to medium heat, and just kind of let that start to melt. And while that's melting, we're going to come back over here and get started with our dry ingredients. And one of the keys to this, it calls for self-rising flour, 2 cups of self-rising flour. Thing is that we've tried it with, you can do it with regular self-rising flour with all-purpose flour, but it is so much kind of closer to the McVitie's recipe if you use whole wheat flour as kind of the base for the self-rising flour. So we'll show you how to make that. All right, so to make the 2 cups of self-rising flour, you're going to have 1 3/4 cups of whole wheat flour. And we really like King Arthur flour for lots of reasons. So we're using theirs today. Can you help me?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to measure out in a second. We'll use that one in a second. So we're going to start off with the one with the cup. Can you help me pour that in, please? All right. What's that? Not the sugar yet. This is the whole wheat flour. Eventually we'll get to the sugar. Yes, if you have little taste testers, this is a good recipe. There are no eggs in this recipe, and we have developed a bit of a taste tester as Liam has gotten older. All right, so you have 1 cup and then 3/4 of a cup. Here you go. Can you help me pour this in?
I'm not older.
You are a little bit older. You are. Can you help me pour this in?
Being older.
All right, so 1 3/4 of a cup of whole wheat flour, and then we're going to have a 1/4 cup. A 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. All right, can you pour that in for me? Nice job. And we're going to set our flours aside. And then we have 1½ teaspoons of baking powder.
What baking?
We will use baking soda in just a minute, but right now, Liam makes sure most of the time that I don't confuse the baking powder and the baking soda.
Oh, Mom, put baking soda in.
We will put baking soda in a minute, but right now we're doing the baking powder.
Mom, put baking soda in the wheat bread.
I did put baking soda in the wheat bread as well. Yep. Then did I have to go and make it again? Yeah. All right, dude. You're keeping me in line. All right, can you pour this in? Yep, that's the baking powder. Can you pour this in for me? So you need 1½ teaspoon, so that's 1.
It's only wheating. I don't do it.
All right, can you pour this one in?
Don't know.
Thank you, sir. Yep, feel right?
Just checking it.
Just checking it. Thank you. It's good to have a helper. I'm telling you, they make sure you're doing things the right way. All right, salt. You're gonna help me with the salt. All right. So what's our next ingredient? The salt. Yeah. All right. So the recipe calls for 1/4 to 1/3 teaspoon of salt. We tend to do around 1/4, even less sometimes, because it tends to make them a little bit on the salty side. So if you like the sweet and salty thing, maybe you want to go for more like 1/4 to 1/3, but we tend to do a little bit less. And we tend to do this mostly by hand. And Liam likes to be our measure. All right, that looks good. Brush it off, mix it in. Nice job. And keep it in the bowl, right?
Out.
Into the bowl, not out of the bowl. All right, so can you help me mix that up? Mix that up.
Oh, put it down.
Please, Mama. Please. Okay, so we mix that all together, and there's your self-rising flour combination. And to that, we are going to add our porridge oats, 2 cups of porridge oats. And you can either use oats, small oats like McCann's, or you can take rolled oats, as we have right here, and you can cut them up with a pastry cutter or a knife. Lovely. Can you help me add these in? Keep it in the bowl, Judy. Okay, just gently pour them in. Gently pour them in. Nice job. And then mix them up gently with your hands. And make sure you don't use a whisk or your hands for this, so you don't break them down too much. Okay?
I'm going to go get my whip.
You're gonna go get your whisk. Sounds like a plan. And while Liam's doing that, I'm going to add their 2 cups of sugar. And since we have a taste tester, I'm gonna add this next part in, and we're gonna mix that in. And you mix that all together. And then once we're finished with this, we're gonna double check how our butter mixture is going. Can you? Oh, is that your whisk? Your spatula. What happened to your whisk? Would you like a whisk?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the whisk up here. Here, you continue on with that. We'll get you the whisk up here.
A clean monkey.
This is a clean one.
A clean handle.
The clean handle. This one's okay. Can you keep doing this? I'm going to check the butter mixture. We're getting there. Almost melted down. And so once this gets to be all melted together, you're going to add your baking soda to this. So I would say this is looking good. So when it gets to be about here, get your baking soda ready. And you're going to add it to the warm mixture. All right. And a half teaspoon of baking soda. So we did our baking soda, not, we already used our baking powder, so we're now using our baking soda.
Oh, Mama, they do it in the baking bag.
I know.
And Mom made another one.
I had to make another one. Alrighty, so here we go. We're going to add our half teaspoon of baking soda into our mixture. And you want to mix that up really well. Nice job, buddy. Thank you very much. You are chopping up. All right, and then you're going to bring that around. You're actually going to add this mixture into, ooh, no. That can't taste too good. As I said, this doesn't have eggs in it, so. What's that? You tasted it a little bit? Yeah, but we wait until it's, tell them, we wait until it's baked. We wait until it's baked, yeah. All right, so once you've got this mixture and you've put your baking soda in, we're going to pour it in with the mixture with the oats and the flour. So it shouldn't be too hot, but it's gonna be hot enough initially. So let's pour it in. And you're gonna mix it in gently. So watch your fingers, bud. Gonna mix it in gently, starting with the whisk. Very good. And then eventually we might actually start.
May I then top it?
Say, may I chop that up, please?
Mom, may I top it?
You may. And then eventually you can actually just start using your hands. So before you do that, just make sure that it's cooled down enough. I think we're okay. It's gonna be just warm. You start mixing with your hands, and especially if you're doing this with a little guy, it's actually kind of fun. It's almost just like Play-Doh. I know. Is it tasty? Okay, but that's enough. No more taste testing, or else we're not going to have any at the end. Okay. And you don't want to overwork this because you don't want to make them too tough, but you want to make sure everything is mixed all together. How's it doing? Are we mixing it well? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
It's all right. Good job. No, that's enough. One more. All right, and once you have this here, it should feel really crumbly and still pretty moist. And once you have that there, we're going to go on to the next step of making it into the little balls to bake them, okay? So at this point, go get a cookie sheet and we'll see you for the next step. Baking with babies, we're drumming away. Are you getting ready for Runa set? Yeah, what are you going to play?
No day. No day.
It's gonna home around.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this with babies.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this next step of our episode of Baking with Babies. So, we're going to preheat our oven to somewhere between 350 and 360 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on how hot your oven is. So we've got ours preheated to about 360, and we're going to take a baking sheet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We don't need to grease our baking sheet for this particular one, but the recipe calls to grease your baking sheet. So if you don't have a special kind of baking sheet, I suppose, then grease your baking sheet, and you're going to take your mixture, your dough, and going to take some in your hand and just gently kind of squeeze it together enough that it makes it hold, but it doesn't make it stiff. And you're going to place it on there. It should be about the size of a walnut. So like I said, you don't want it to be so tight in your hand that it's solid, but enough that it's going to hold together, okay? And you're going to space them about 1.5 inches to 2 inches apart. Hey, buddy. All right, you're going to get the stamp. That's for our next part. All right, and you're going to fill your baking sheet with these. And the next step, you're going to put them into your oven for about 2 minutes. In total, it'll be about 15 minutes, but you'll put them in for 2 minutes and then take them back out again. And Liam was just talking about stamping them. And so we'll show you that next part in just a moment. Okay, here you go. Thank you, sir. Is this our stamp?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to stamp the cookies in just a few minutes, but they have to bake for a couple minutes first. And so the key to this recipe is to make sure that they don't get too tough at the end, or else it makes them a little hard to eat, hard to bite. You want to make sure that they're crispy, as biscuits should be. And these are perfect with a cup of berries tea. Do we have berries in our house? Yeah. You have some in your kitchen, don't you? Liam has his own kitchen and his own shop in our house, so when you couldn't find things during the pandemic early on, you could find them in Liam's shop. Okay, so once you have all of them on, we're going to take them around and put them into the oven. And we'll set our timer for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes. And we'll see you in just a minute. Say happy baking, everybody. Alrighty, everybody. We are ready for our next step. 2 minutes have gone by in the oven, so we are going to take our cookie sheet out. And as you can imagine, they are nowhere near to being finished, but this next part, you can leave them like this if you want to. You don't have to press them down, but to flatten them gives them kind of that more kind of authentic hobnob looking feel. All right, so let's take this off. The tray will be very, very hot, so if you got a super little guy, you may want to do this part on your own, or if you got somebody that's kind of experienced in the kitchen with you, and a baking buddy as we have, then you can have them help you, but you have to be very careful. Okay, so we have a fancy cookie stamp that we like to use for these kinds of things. On these it probably won't show up. We don't have two? No, we're just using the one. But if you don't have a cookie stamp, you don't actually need one for one of these. You can just use just a plain glass with a flat bottom on it, and it will do the trick just fine. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's take our stamp, but we're being very careful. And press it down just gently so it flattens it a little bit. Which one? You don't want to press too hard, because you don't want to press all the air out. Good job, bud. There we go. Whoop, slow. Not too fast. Not too fast. There you go. Nice job.
Honey, not fast.
Honey, not too fast. All right, and one more. Perfect. All right, and we'll put them back in the oven.
More?
Yeah, put them back in the oven for some more time. And you're going to put them in your oven for another kind of 13 to 15 minutes, depending on how hot your oven is. You want them to be kind of a beautiful golden toasty brown color. So we'll check back. We'll set our timer. Let's set our timer for 13 minutes and we'll check back again. And say, see you in a few minutes, everybody.
You made everybody. See you at the next episode.
See you at the next episode. We'll see you in just a bit.
Everybody, welcome to the next episode, Baby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next step of this episode of Baking with Babies. Are we ready to take these guys out?
Yeah.
Alrighty, here we go. They look beautiful. Oh, Liam, these look great. So we've got our hobnobs out there, beautiful toasted brown color, and we're going to take them off with our spatulas in just a minute when they've cooled down just a little bit, and we're going to let them cool for a while on our baking rack. And then in a little while, what are we going to put on top? What are we going to put on top once they've cooled down? Remember? Chocolate. So for those of you who really like chocolate, an extra special way to enjoy hobnobs is to have a little bit of chocolate, and Cadbury's Dairy Milk is the way to go if you're into that kind of thing. So we will show you that in just a little bit, but we're going to let them cool first, and we'll see you in just a little while. Say happy baking, everybody. Happy baking, everybody. See you in a bit. What are you playing? What song are you playing? Oh, nice.
I love you.
I love you, buddy. You helping Freddie say I love you? Show us.
Happy baby.
Oh, no. All right. Jamming a song?
I'm not just happy.
Just helping. Okay. What are we going to say?
Hello,
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next baby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this next step of this episode of Baking with Babies. Nice job.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Baby.
Nice job, buddy. So our last step of making our hobnobs is what? What are we about to do? Put chocolate on, and we are using Cadbury's Dairy Milk. So we've got our Kerrygold, we've got our Cadbury's here. We are sparing no expense. This is, if you want to do these, this is the way to do these. All right, so did these turn out okay? What do you think? Yeah, they look pretty good, and we tasted some as well. Are you gonna taste a little bit of the chocolate before we get started? Pretty yummy. All right, so let's try putting some on. All right, so really simple. You're going to melt some of the chocolate down. We put it in for 20 to 30 seconds at a time. Stir it up a bit, just a minute. Stir it up a little bit to make sure that it's smooth. And we're going to put some chocolate on here. So,
and
then eat it, maybe. Yeah. All right, so you take your chocolate. We just use a glass bowl when we're melting it. You can do it in the microwave or on the stove top. Can you help me hold this? Okay. Hold this on the side. Hold it with your other hand. With your left hand, buddy. Hold it with your left hand. Good job.
My right hand.
Not your right hand. And then help me with the right hand. We're going to spread some chocolate on. Yep. Help Mom. You alright? There you go. Alright, and you just spread some of the chocolate on, just like that. And depending on how much chocolate, we put a little bit more on. Hang on a second. Put a little bit more on. So you just have a light coating. On your hobnob. Can you help me again? Thank you. Nice. And You're gonna set it aside to dry. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
Eat that one. So generally speaking, this is what you're going to do. So let's show everybody. This is what you're going to do. You're going to set it aside to let it cool, or you could even put it into the fridge or to the freezer to help it set a little bit. But I'm not sure we're going to be able to wait today. Do you think we should taste it? Yeah. Should we taste it? All right, let's see how we did. Ready? Mmm. What do you think? Good? It's good. Another deBarra seal of approval? With Uncle Cormac with them? Yeah. Okay. Well, shall we say happy festival, everybody? Happy festival. Happy baking, everybody. See you at the next episode. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great weekend, great festival, and hopefully we'll see you in Michigan next year. Lots of love. Lots of love. Little kisses. Mwah.